Hi, my name is Megan Atuvle and I make interactive floor and wall experiences for a living. Today I'm going to show you how I made this super cool rainbow selfie wall. When you stand in front of it, it creates a nice white cloud around you so that your pictures look great and you still have this really cool glitter rainbow background. So let's go over to my computer and I'll show you how I made this. I have made a few selfie walls and I've noticed that one of the things that I find challenging is lighting people properly. So I'm going to try a different effect using the grow and fall template today and we'll see how it works. The version of LUMOplay that I'm using is LUMOplay Maker. And I like to use Playmaker because I make a lot of effects and this waives the publishing fee. So if you aren't making a lot of different experiences, then you can just use Lumo Playground and pay as you go. The price for publishing a Motion Maker app is listed on our website. If you are an agency or you run events or you have a play center where you're making custom content for things like birthday parties, then Playmaker is the subscription that you want to get. Playmaker will allow you to publish as many Motion Maker custom apps as you want to make. So I'm going to go into Motion Maker and I'm just going to select the Grow and Fall template, click Create. Before I get started, one of the important notes that you need to know if you're making custom apps with Motion Maker is that if you are designing your experience on a computer that is different than the final installation computer, so in this case, I'm going to design my effect on my surface here, and then I'm going to use the effect on my wall. The aspect ratio and resolution of the graphics and videos that you prepare for these effects need to be the same as the size of your wall. So or the size of your final display. So my final display on my wall is 1920 by 1200. It's a 16:10 aspect ratio. You can easily find out what the aspect ratio of your screens are by right-clicking on the desktop and just going to displays. It'll tell you what your resolution is. Just make sure that if you're designing on a separate computer, that computer's resolution matches the resolution of your final installation computer. So with that said, I'm going to start by giving my app a name. So I'm going to call it Selfie Rainbow. And I want to put an overlay on this effect. It's a kind of call to action. So it'll be a title for the effect that tells people that this is a rainbow selfie wall. So I'm not using the logo, but if you wanted to add a logo, this is where you would add it. And I'm also not adding a mask, but there are some other videos that show how I use the mask tool for different things. So if you want to check those out, subscribe, like, and look at the playlists, and you'll find a few videos that talk about the mask. What I'm using today is the idle. So I'm going to go into the folder with all of my graphics prepared and select the title. I'm going to turn the alpha all the way up because I don't want it to be transparent. And now I have this nice title that says Selfie Rainbow. I'm going to turn the timeout all the way up. And what that does is it keeps the image off the screen for as long as possible while people are doing things in front of the screen. So that means if somebody's playing in front of this screen, that image isn't going to just pop up right away. And that's all I need to do for this. There is an animation that you can turn on and off. So when that image comes back up, you'll see that it moves a little bit. If you don't want it to move, you can just turn that off. So I'm going to close the overlay section. I'm all done with that. I'm going into the background and let's select my background video. And that's basically just rainbow glitter. I really like it. It has a audio track. I can turn the audio on really quick. So it has a fun little looping rock and roll background track that people can use if they want to. You can put audio in any of your video backgrounds in any of these templates. For the particles, I'm going to get rid of the default particles and add my own. And what I created for this effect is, because I noticed that people standing in front of the selfie walls sometimes are not well lit, I'm using all white particles, and what I'm hoping that'll do is create kind of like a moving spotlight effect in front of people as they're standing in front of the wall. And that should light them up fairly evenly while keeping the nice colorful background. So I'm going to make sure that enough of these are spawned that it actually does create a nice cloud. And then I don't want them to take time to grow, I just want them to appear. So I'm going to turn the grow time down. I want them to stay on people for as long as possible. So I'm turning that stay time up. And now it's starting to look like a fun little cloud shape. I don't really want them to fall that quickly. So I'm going to turn the fall time down. Let's see what that does. Perfect. And the fall speed is kind of irrelevant now because they're not really falling. Great. I'm going to keep the rotation speed all the way up. I do want that. I do want to vary the rotation speeds. And I'm going to do something pretty fun and have these 2D particles rotate on all the axes. So they're going to rotate in 3D. And what that's going to do is create an even more interesting sort of shape with this nice little blurring edge that I hope will look kind of cool in pictures. So that's it for the particle section. I'm going to close that. And then for idle animation, I'm just going to turn it off. I don't really want to see the little particles popping up. I just want the background video and the title of the experience. And that's it. I'm going to click save and close this, and you'll see it gives me a nice little thumbnail. I'm going to publish my app. It'll give me a warning. Anytime you publish an app in LUMOplay, it gives you a warning. Once it's published, you can't edit it anymore. So make sure you have all your changes in place and just click OK and it'll upload the app. So yeah, now I'm gonna go take some pictures and try it out. I really hope that you liked the video and that you're inspired to make your own interactive floor and wall effects. If you have any questions, you can reach me at info@lumoplay.com. And if you want to support our company, we make our base software free, so you can download LUMOplay and play with it for free. It works on any projector, and it comes with a rotating group of games and effects every month. There are ads, so you'll have to put up with me popping up from time to time telling you about my company. But our second tier, our paid tier, is sold at cost. And basically, we committed 15 years ago to never making a profit off of education. And most of our customers are people using interactive projection software. They're using LUMOplay in schools and in sensory labs, and we think that that's awesome and we really want to support it. So if you would like to support us on our mission to keep these types of experiences as affordable as possible and to encourage people to use equipment they already have and keep things out of landfills and to keep providing free education to help people set up their own systems without having to spend tons and tons of money on expensive installers, you can support us by hitting like and leaving a comment and just letting us know that you're interested in what we're doing, because we don't really have a marketing budget. Me teaching you is how we reach a wider audience. So yeah, any sort of engagement you can give to this video, we'd really appreciate it. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I answer all the comments, and I'll be back next week with another tutorial.